let's look at the cost difference between CBCS and CGC. And I think there's a pretty big difference between the two. So hit the like button while the intro plays. Let's talk about it. All right, so as you guys know, if you're following the channel, I'm strictly going to CBCS Comics now for my grading until something terrible happens, and then I decide no more grading comic books for me. Just had too many issues, and I'm sick and tired of seeing all the quality control issues, and I just can't trust my books there. So for now, I'm going to CBCS, and I've been having a good time with it so far. But I was kind of shocked to see the difference in costs associated between the two. And we know costs right now with CGC and CBCS are kind of a big deal, especially with CGC just putting in a new cost increase. So first, let's look at the different tiers, the differences in tiers, and let's then look at the difference in cost, right? Now, both offer a discount across the board for members at different tiers. CGC, it's like 5 and 10%. They did adjust that a little bit, so only 10% off grading if you're with Elite. I don't see any discounts now for the premium, so really, unless you're paying $300 a year, that's the only time you're getting a discount at CGC. So then CBCS gives a discount to their members, and I'll put the cost of membership down below because I don't remember it off the top of my head. And it's anywhere from like $2 at the lowest, like a $9 discount, and then a percentage as we get higher up. But let's look at the different tiers offered. So CGC offers several different tiers. It's Modern, Economy, Standard, Express, and Walkthrough. And what they did do is they did eliminate that value tier and combine it with Economy tier. With CBCS, you're getting the Modern, you're getting the Expanded, Consumer, 2-day Modern, the Quick Stream, Rapid, and 1 day. As well as some original art, reholders, things like that, a fast pass. We'll kind of talk about the fast passes in a little bit. So first off, let's compare apples to apples here. So Modern, 1975 to present, you're talking membership pricing of $16 a book, or a non-member of 18, 4 to 6 weeks turnaround time. For the CGC, you're looking at $22 per. And again, you don't get the 10% off unless you're at that highest tier level. Now, the difference here is you do have a value up to $250 on the Modern tier for CBCS and a max value of $400 for CGC. That is a bit of a difference. That's a big difference. But what I will say is CGC will get you. They have recently been jacking up grading costs. So say you submit a book in now, and then in 8 months when they open it and grade it, and it's all of a sudden a super hot book, we've been seeing a ton of stuff about CGC sending people emails saying we've adjusted your grading tier and added this new fee because now this book that was maybe once a $5, $10, $15, $20 book is now a $500 book because of some weird spec going on. Max value, so that is a bit of a big difference there. 4 to 6 weeks turnaround time, and if we look at current turnaround time for Modern, we're looking at 64 working days. 64. So 4 to 6 weeks or 64 working days. It's not including weekends or anything like that. So there's your difference there. Now we look at the next one. The expanded tier for CBCS is a $27 a book for members, $30 for non-members. Economy over on the CGC side is looking at $33 per, or you can fast track it for an additional $15, and you can fast track all of these. And current workaround time, 134 days. And the expanded tier is going to be somewhere about 4 to 6 for the CBCS. But again, that max value is different, right? So you're looking pre-1975 for both of these, expanded and economy. One's max 400 on the CGC side and a max of 250 on the CBCS. Now we look at consumer and standard, which these can be any year, right? Members, it's $30 a book. Non-members, $34 a book. Now, here's the difference. Consumer is valued up to $400. So that's something to consider, because if you're looking at you know, maybe you have a book kind of in that middle of the road value, and I'm deciding between CGC, CBCS, period on cost. Well, it's going to cost me $30, $34 at CBCS, or if it's a modern, it'd be like $22 on the CGC side. Now, here's where I think that consumer tier should honestly almost be eliminated for anything 1975 and above. And the reason why I said that is because if you look at their next one, they have 2-day modern. So for basically $2 more on the non-member side, or if you're a member, basically going from 30 to 36 or 40 to 34. So you're looking at a $6 difference. 2 business days of turnaround time with a value up to $2,000. That, my friends, is the best value in comic book grading, in my opinion. And I say that because if we look at something even remotely comparable to that at that type of cost, Express, max value $3,000, 14-day turnaround time, $120 difference on CGC. So if I have a book, I want to get it done really quickly, and it's 1975 or more, or higher, $36, and I get it back in a couple of days. That's awesome, right? So you're talking maybe a couple of days for shipping for them to get it there. They open it up after a couple of days. I mean, you're talking a week or two, you're getting your book back. CGC, you send it off, it's going to cost you almost 3 times the cost, almost 4 times the cost, right? Yeah, almost 4 times the cost, and it's 14 working days plus the length of time where they're not opening it for almost a full month, because it says here they're opening comic books delivered the week of April 5th. This is now May 10th. So that's a big deal, right? And then, of course, they have a quick stream, which is also somewhat comparable to the Express. So they offer the quick stream, which could be any year. It takes their 2 weeks, and it's $52 a book. So if you compare apples to apples, 2 weeks to 2 weeks, half the cost nearly. Actually, less than half the cost. $52 a book versus the standard, okay, versus the Express. So that is a big deal. So if we, again, outright compare apples to apples, 14 days, it'll be $120 at CGC or $52 quick stream. That's crazy. And if you look at their walkthrough, 4 days workaround time, 3% of fair market value, a minimum of $150, that's the minimum, or 3% of FMV. And again, they have CBCS has a 2-day modern at $36 a book. That is super impressive. And then, of course, they have their Rapid, which is $81 a book or $90 a book at a 1 week up to $4,000. And then a 1 day any year, minimum of $130, max $2,600 per book. And of course, they do the whole market value percentage there too. I mean, guys, 1 day, $130. CGC's Express is $120, and that's a 14-day turnaround. So in my mind, I think the best value in comic book grading right now is by far and away that 2-day modern. Because let's face it, a ton of modern books are going through right now, and Bronze Age books are becoming very hot. So yeah, guys, I mean, 1975 present, $36 books, 2-day turnaround. And even if you want to spend, for whatever reason, that extra chunk of change just to get the book back a day sooner, $130. So let me know what you guys think. And they also do reholders and original arts, things like that. What I will say is the Fast Pass for CBCS is only $9 a book if you're a member, $10 if you're not. Great. $15 per on the CGC side. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, we're talking a fairly significant difference in pricing. In some cases, it's 4 times more expensive. In some cases, it's just a few dollars. If you're looking at the general standard tier, I mean, that may be one of the reasons why people are pricing CGC books a little bit more. I mean, if I'm having to pay, $75, $120 to get my book done pretty quickly, I'm going to want to see a little bit more. Whereas CBCS, I can take a $30 loss versus a CGC book because I didn't have to pay $120 to get my book graded. It was $36 and I got it back in a couple of days. So let me know what you guys think. And have you ever actually sat down and looked at the price difference and compared them, apples to apples? And I'm sure there's some small nuances and things like that I missed. And if I did, let me know down in the comment. But I legitimately just was a little shocked on this. And this isn't even, I'm not even looking at the signature verification CBCS does. just apples to apples grading. Guys, you're the best part of Two Brothers Comics. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. As always, collect your way.